Hey guys, this week on Let's Fish TV, I'm Captain E, and I'm going to be sitting in for Andrew as your host. And I'll tell you what, it's my pleasure to bring you back to the Carolinas once again. We're going to head off to some structure out there in 30 to 55 foot of water. We're going to be fishing artificial reefs. We're going to go hit some live bottoms and some ledges. But if you like action, you like good fights, that's what we're looking for today. Don't go anywhere because Let's Fish TV is on the air now.
That's a big one right there.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southwest region every week.
You ever caught a fish that big?
No!
Got him.
Another day. There you go. Another redfish. Got him. Now, that's what Let's Fish TV is all about right there, guys.
Hey folks, I'm Captain E, and like I said, I'm sitting in for Andrew this week. I'm in the inlet doing some work today, but I got out and filmed a great episode of Let's Fish TV, sitting in for Andrew. And right over my shoulder here, you'll see Crazy Sister Marina. They're my hosts, they're my sponsors of that Carolinas report, and I'm just leaving there getting some gas and ice for the day, but you can too. But today we're gonna head out to some live bottom and some nearshore reefs in 35 to 55 foot of water. We had a lot of success, and I'll tell you, it's my pleasure always to sit in, but to get out and just enjoy the tugs. And that is, you know, I wasn't out there to bring anything home. I know gag groupers closed. Unfortunately, June 14th is shut down for the year. We got about 4 weeks of grouper season in the Carolinas and in the Southeast. And so I had a great time. I got out there and found some flounder too, but a great time, always sitting in for Andrew and being your host. We're going to get to that, but for right now, let's go to the studio for your weekend planner.
Hi everybody, thanks so much for stopping by. The Salooner tables are predicting a fair game fish activity Saturday and good activity on Sunday. Early morning action begins at 2:14 on Saturday and 3:03 Sunday morning. Expect those prime daytime hours to begin around 2:39 on Saturday and 3:28 on Sunday afternoon. Depending on your area, expect the sun to rise around 7:17 and set at 7:26. Evenings will feature a 84% visible moon. Join Let's Fish TV on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to stay up to date with our latest fishing adventures and tips.
All right, y'all, it's my pleasure to sit in again for Andrew Upshaw this week as your host, and I'm your Carolinas reporter, and I love talking to you about this time of the year, especially in South Carolina. These nearshore reefs get loaded up with flounder. Late summer, early fall, you can have a lot of success out here right now, and that's what I'm doing. I'm setting up on these structures and fishing live mullet right along the edge. Whoop, that felt like a bite. Right along the edge, and I'm gonna let him eat this thing because I've got this one on the Carolina rig. I'm fishing a jig head and a Carolina rig today. I've got 3/4 ounce jig. Yeah, doesn't feel like the biggest. Come here, baby. Again, in South Carolina, obviously 16 inches is our regulation. Oh, come here, buddy. And he's probably just a little bit short. And he got it down in there deep. So I got that hook right there at the top of his mouth. I'm gonna go ahead and get it out. I've not attached it in his stomach or anything like that, which I would typically just cut him loose. We got him there. About a 15 and a half, 15 and 3/4, just a little bit short, but again, check those colors out. This is the colors you get out in the ocean on the sand, on this sandy bottom on top of that structure. We'll let him go. He's off to the races. And you know what? It's a great time, again, in the fall to get out and fish on these nearshore reefs. And our captains at Crazy Sister Marina, we've got all kinds of options, inshore, nearshore, and offshore, to get you out there and enjoy it. On these nearshore reefs, just like this, the Pop Nash Reef, which is named in honor of an incredible gentleman that was very involved in saving several pilots' lives in a plane crash here back in the early days of the Air Force Base here at Myrtle Beach. And his family honored him with this incredible reef, and we love honoring them and memorializing him by coming out here and fishing on this reef. It's an incredible spot to get out. You can find this all on DNR's website. You can find all these reefs and all these numbers. It's public areas. You're not going to get into a fight over these spots. They're public. You can get out there and have a great time. Certain times of the year, there's more, different species out here. You can find some black drums out here in the wintertime. but a great reef here. But there's a lot of things going on in your body of water as well. Let's go to your reporter and see what's happening there.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you once again by Skeleton Optics. Using Zeiss lenses with some of the best clarity in the world, you can really clearly see the difference with Skeleton Optics. Now this week, we're gonna go out west. Recent summer rains and cold fronts have brought both a rise in some of the lake levels and cooling waters to some of our western lakes, like Allen Henry. You'll find bass early in the morning, main lake points of the creeks on the shaded sides. Fish around those rocks and cover with your buzz baits, your spinner baits, and your yum dingers to start your day. Later in the day, you can throw your bladed jigs and of course your shaky heads. Move back into the creeks about a third of the way and run up shallow to find some late day bass. Now, over at Richland Chambers, catfish still going strong, and they're back in the creeks, up either the Richland arm or the Chambers arm. Run back up in the creeks, look for about 10 feet of water with some timber. Chum if you're going to fish with live bait and or prepared formulas. Otherwise, you can just throw your cut bait around some of the trees and channels to catch those RC cats. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes. Check us out on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
So we made a little change and moved a little deeper to another. This is more of a natural structure here. We got some hard bottom. Look at there. Hang on. And I'm dropping down these big mullet, and we're probably going, you know, if the tug is your drug, which I always say, you know, if it's all about the kill, you're probably in the wrong sport, because we do all have bad days. Come on, this thing don't want to come up. He wants to go the other way, which is making me think possibly snapper or grouper, but I don't have that head shake. But he's a gag grouper. Look at that. Look at that. Pretty gag grouper. And he would probably not make the cut anyway, but since Noah decided to shut our gag grouper down in June of this year, come here, buddy. Look at those teeth. Wow. Look at that. That's a good one there. Boy, I tell you what, and you want to talk about good eating. That's good eating. Yeah, he's probably about 20, 21 inches, a little short. Not gonna make the cut. I'm gonna get that jig out of him, send him back down there real quick. Woo, boy, we're in here shallow, so we don't need to descend him. All right, we'll go ahead and get that jig out of his mouth. There we go. We'll get him back quick. Come on, buddy. Here we go. Let him get a good release right here at the side of the boat. As I'm falling. Fall down and entertain you guys. There he goes. He's off. I'm gonna tell you what I did though. I did pull up on this area. And for all you bass guys that are complaining and whining and moaning about forward-facing sonar, let me tell you how awesome it is in saltwater. We used it, got it down. This is a real small piece of structure here. Using that forward-facing sonar, I saw there's some really good fish here, possibly some flounder laid up on top of it. So we're gonna get baited back up and get back down.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose, Feel the Difference, Strike King, Taiwan On, and by Glacier Outdoors since 1982.
And he's gonna stay with us and make a trip back because flounder are really good to eat. Look at that color. All right, so let me show you what we're doing. I've got one of my Organized Chaos 1 ounce jigs here, big old mullet on it. And again, we're in 58 foot of water. And using that forward facing sonar, I know that right out in front of us, about 10 to 15 feet in front of the boat, is where this hard bottom, we call this area the tabletop, I'll just say it. We call it the tabletop, and it's because it comes off the bottom about a foot, 2 foot, and it literally looks just like a table down there. My thoughts for coming here were that this time of the year, the flounder will lay up on top of these areas when they're offshore. And with all that fresh water that pushed in, and after spending 2 days, we'll say that, in nearshore flounder areas with very little luck other than about 50 undersized flounder, I decided to try a little bit deeper today. There we go. Oh yeah, this is a good fish here. Yep. Yep. This is, yeah, this might be, I may have come to a, how do you say it, a gunfight with a knife, but this loose mock smash is gonna get a workout today. Oh, I see it. Ah, it's another gag, dude. Another gag, but look at that. Hey, another gag. But I can tell you one thing. I think we found a pretty good hole with some gags in it. And, you know, like I've said in the past, if the tug is the drug, which for most of us it is, and that is the fact of, you know, whether we're bass fishing, striper fishing, cat fishing, flounder fishing, is that we release most of what we catch anyway. Let's go ahead and get him back real quick. He's gone, back to the races. Now, again, I'm in 58 foot of water. If I was in 100 foot plus, I've got a descending device that I would use and get that fish down there quicker. As they come up through atmospheric pressures that change on the inside of them, you want to drop them back down as quick, and actually you want to release them at a certain point. And with those descending devices, you can do that. Set that thing, it lets them go right when that pressure's off of their stomach, off of their swim bladder, and they swim away. We're going to release these right now. If I'll put them over, if I see, you know, that one of them has thrown his swim bladder out of his stomach, I may, you know, go in and let some air out. But for the most part, I'm just going to release them. And hopefully we're going to catch some flounder. But while we're sitting here and messing around, I'm going to get rebaited. And, you know, your reporters are on the water nonstop. They're always out, making sure they get some great action for you and putting you on fish when you get out there. And our reporters right now got some great reports from your body of water. Let's go see what they've got to say.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here, coming to you from Cajun Paradise Charters in Hackberry, Louisiana. Tell you what, this week's Let's Fish Report, we're going to talk to you about Calcasieu Lake right here in Hackberry, Louisiana. I tell you what, a lot of folks call it Big Lake. It is a very big lake. Lots of trout and redfish getting caught. We're starting to get into the early fall patterns. I tell you what, lots of teal showing up for the hunters out there that like teal. Lots of them showing up. But on the fishing side, trout are starting to work under the birds. Redfish, points, little pockets, shallow water. Live shrimps are always the best, but I'll tell you what, lots of fish getting caught on DSLs, 1/8 and 1/4 ounce jig heads, Rockport Rattler. Okay, right now we're going to switch to the freshwater side of things. We're going to talk about Toledo Bend. On the Moon, lots of good fish got caught. Deep, big plastic worms, Carolina rig, Texas rig, lots of good fish. Also, shallow water, buzz baits and spinnerbaits. But right now, the crappie are still piled up big time on the brush pile. Live shiners, light 16th, 32nd ounce jigs. Tell you what, Rockport Rattler there too. And if you need to, you can always drop a big live shiner down there and catch some of the better fish. Main thing, find out where the fish are sitting. You can drop it down there and catch them. For Old Cajun Phil, Captain Kevin Broussard saying happy fishing. May God bless. We're going to see you right here next week. And let's fish.
Well, hey, that was quick. I literally just dropped down and we made a move. We're on a little bit different structure, but we're fishing in an area that's like a, you know, I mentioned the artificial stuff earlier, but this is really a natural live bottom right here. Oh, come on. Whatever this is does not want to come up either. And I'm looking, and what do I see? Look, I see color. Look at there. And we found some more gags. I'm not complaining. You find me anybody that complains about catching gag grouper, whether you can keep them or not, and I'll show you somebody that really doesn't understand fishing and doesn't appreciate it. We'll get him off. Again, on that jig head, look at that, perfect. We'll get that jig out. Just a 1 ounce jig, gone to red, got some heavy wire on it, obviously works really good out here. And again, about an 18, 19 inch gag grouper. out of season and too short anyway. Gone to the races, back to the bottom. There's a mullet right there, check it out. So what we've got now is, we found the school amberjack, they're up. We're not gonna be able to get away from them. So we said the tug is the drug, that's what this show's all about. So if I happen to catch an amberjack or reef donkey, we'll be happy with that. It's a good fight.
Yep.
All right, there we go. Yeah, switched up to a Carolina rig here. I tell you what, I was losing so many jigs around this structure, and switching up to this Carolina rig has helped a little bit so far. Couple drops, I have not got hung up yet. Let's see if we finally got, oh, I see a flatfish. I see a flounder that might be dinner. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that one might be dinner. I tell you what though, the color, again, the color of these fish out here on these reefs is just incredible. I let him eat that too good. Hold on one second, we'll get it. Oh yeah, we'll go ahead and get him loose there. And he's gonna stay with us and make a trip back because flounder are really good to eat. Look at that color again. You know, they match the color, and what they're sitting on down there is probably this concrete right here with some sand around it. So perfect camouflage, perfect camouflage. And I'll tell you, the cameraman I've got back there is Captain Will Sanchilli, a good friend of mine who is a scuba diver, and he says it's unbelievable to watch these laid up around this structure. Now I'm cheating today because I do have a cameraman who is a diver who's putting me on some good fish, but hey, we're gonna get that in the box and see if we can't catch some more in here on the Nearshore reef and on this live bottom in here, but it's a great time.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, the ultimate fishing system, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach Tourism. Let's fish on Alabama's beaches. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by Passion.
I don't know, oh, it's a flounder. Oh, look at there! And another keeper! I'll get him. Yep. Oh, man! Well, put the forward-facing sonar to work, and she has done her job. I don't know what we got here. To be honest with you, I'd love to see a flounder, but I doubt it. It looks like either a big black sea bass or another small grouper. Look at there, another grouper. I'd say we found a pretty good spot with some grouper. And unfortunately, they're a lot smaller. Now, if you talk to a lot of divers, bottom fishermen, go ahead and get that thing back real quick. Beautiful color. That's a gag, that's a gag. But if you talk to a lot of divers, a lot of bottom fishermen, they're gonna tell you that, you know, typically this time of the year, those gag grouper aren't in here in this shallower water. And one of the reasoning behind it that they feel is because the red snapper and the pressure that the red snapper have put on them on those deeper areas, and it's pushed them inshore. Now this is a great bottom. I mean, we're on a 2-3 foot ledge, beautiful ledge through here, good network. There's probably a lot of grouper here, but there's amberjack. I mean, we're looking at spadefish. If you remember, I did a show a couple months ago catching spadefish. We've got spadefish all around the boat right here. All of this in a bay boat. I mean, it's great. We love picking our days and getting out. You can do that too, and I don't care where you are, whether you're in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, doesn't matter. If you pick and choose your days, bay boats are perfect boats to get out and target anything you want. And again, we came out today for the tug. We were looking for some tugs, we found them. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come on, baby. Be another flounder. Be another keeper flounder. Oh, another gag. That's all right. Hey, Another gag. There you go. Another gag. Oh well. I told you, the tug is a drug. If you like catching fish, this is something fun to do. Bring the kids out. We'll let him go. He's gone, off to the races. All right, let's go, let's get rebaited. Let's see if we can get another one. Something's playing, I got a bite. He's holding tight to the bottom, let's see. Feels floundery. Feels like a flounder. He's not big now, he's getting smaller. Might be a lizardfish. I don't know, oh, it's a flounder. Oh, look at there. And another keeper. I'll get him. I'm gonna go crazy. No! No! Folks, let this be your lesson of the day. When it comes to netting, when it comes to putting flounder in the boat, use the net. There's a reason you pay for them. Oh well, that's what happens when you fish around structure. Ah!
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Power Pull, Total Boat Control. Balls Out, made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on, challenge your limits. Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
All right, real quick, I want to talk about what we were using on today's show, and I'll tell you what, it's real simple. Today was honestly as simple as it comes with tackle and everything else, and I was using what I make here called the Organized Chaos 1 ounce jig. It's what I started using out there when I got in that deeper water. And of course, I started off with that mock crush, and I switched over to this smash, a little bit heavier, 7 foot, medium heavy. And I used that when I started getting in those grouper. You know, that mock crush has been a great rod. It's been a great combo for me. I've used it a lot, whether it was catching those spade fish in on those nearshore reefs, or whether I'm catching flounder, trout. It's a great rod. But out there, I went a little bit bigger, and I'm using that 25-pound Seaguar Abrazex fluorocarbon out there. Reason being, fishing around those structures on that artificial reef, is also out on that live bottom where you've got a lot of jagged rocks and coral and things. It works and holds up a lot better. We lost some fish because of that, but still, with 25 pounds, fishing with 30-pound braid here on the mock smash, great combination and all I needed. But also, that Carolina rig that I was using to catch some flounder, again, had it rigged up on that mock too. It was a great combo, great setup, real easy. We call it the Carolina rig. I guess we like it easy here in the Carolinas, but it is super easy. Out in that deeper water, when I got that 50 foot of water, we could have stepped it up to a 1 ounce egg sinker. I didn't have any on the boat, but you know what? The 3/4 got it down. And again, live mullet, that's what we had today. Manhattan live mullet, smaller pinfish, great baits if you want to get out there and do exactly what we were doing, and that is enjoying the tug, using that tug, get that enjoyment out of that. You can find all of this at Academy Sports. Folks, it has been my pleasure to sit in this week and share my waters with you. Work smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.